Hello, my name is Trinity Burnett, and this is my PBL Experience Screencastify. So I did mine on the math project board game since I want to teach math in the future. This is the video here. So it was ninth graders in the video, and he told me that, and I could kind of see that the ninth graders were bigger than the other kids in the video. So there were some ninth graders in a really big classroom. And this is the guided question that I came up with because it was not introduced in the video. The video is only about a minute and some couple seconds long, but I came up with this guided question where students will be able to create an engaging game based on one of the concepts they have learned over the course of the school year. So, in ninth grade, I know students learn parabolas, they learn functions, they learn what else do they learn? Multiplying polynomials and stuff like that. So based on these concepts, they were to create a game. And if I were to take it a step further and include their project-based learning component, I would make their guided question something along the lines of, you are an employee for Hasbro Gaming. The CEO has assigned your team the gaming making task. This game needs to be a math theme and centered around one of the concepts you have learned. And so they would get extra points for originality and things like that. But that's the concept that I came up with. Trying to change my Okay, there we go. So a summary of what they were doing in the video. So basically the kids were making games. And when I was looking at the video, they were making games. I really couldn't see what was on their paper to know like what specific games went with what concepts, but different groups around the room were making different looking games. Some of them were card games, most of them were board games, but some of them were card games. They looked like Candyland. They look like Monopoly. They just look different, but they all look engaging and something that a kid would want to play. So what did I see? In addition to open space group work, original game boards, blended board games, and teachers participating in the PBL, I was seeing that the classroom was like really, really, really big, like almost like a carpeted gym space or like a over the gym space at the top. The discs were in groups. The groups weren't too big. It wasn't like no groups of 6 or 8 or anything. They were like 4 or 5 people groups. So the teachers were watching the fourth graders and ninth graders interact. I see that some sort of SpongeBob theme game was taking place, and the game that resembled Candyland, like I mentioned earlier. The games had titles like Candy Pirates, the ninth graders teachers was talking to his students as well as the fourth grade students that were playing the games. The students had the opportunity to exert their agency via feedback from the cards ninth graders, graded ninth graders, but the fourth graders was playing the games. The students aren't using any technology, but I would have liked to see technology used in this class because the games may have needed calculators. But I understand that at the time of the video was made, calculators and technology may have not been a big thing. But the group work that was taking place was very physical activity centered because it was a big open forum. So I assumed that the teacher already knew that the students were going to be moving around, going from station to station. But it was more like it looked like a convention, like a game board convention for kids. And ninth graders and fourth graders are walking around playing games and moving from different stations, giving feedback to each other. And I saw the teacher participate in project based learning by walking around. He was playing the games, talking to fourth graders, talking to ninth graders. They were just all communicating, using the academic language with the students and asking them questions about their game. It was just really nice to see. So, what did I think about the lesson? Did I think it was highly effective? I did. I thought it was very, um, I thought it was very effective and very fun to see students showing their proficiency in different concepts through game making. So the guided question, refer back to slide 2. That's the guided question that I assumed that they were going with. Your employee for Hasbro Gaming, the CEO has assigned your team the game making task. The game needs to be math themed, centered around one of the concepts we have learned this year, and probably extra points for originality. Um, how did this differ from the traditional lesson? So the open forum, like I said, the space resembled a over the gym space or a carpeted gym space, and there was lots of physical activity. Normally, when you have a traditional lesson, students are seated at their desk. There's a lot of computer work or a lot of paper to pencil work, but this was a lot different. Students were walking around the classroom and they were engaging with one another. What is something that I liked about this lesson? I liked that students had the chance to exert their creativity through the games. I liked that they had a chance to display their knowledge of the concepts through the games. I thought it was a very cool concept and I would do it in one of my classes. What is something that you disliked about the lesson? I didn't like that the grades that they blended were so far apart. They put fourth graders with ninth graders, and I didn't like that. I thought that the maybe ninth grade and sixth grade would be a more lucrative comparison or a more lucrative lesson, but fourth graders, I feel like that was a little too far in grade. So what did I wonder? Like I said, an example problem or a guided question, refer back to slide 2. What was the barriers that I might face in implementing this in my classroom? Well, most of the buildings that I've been in teaching and going to sit in have been very small classrooms, so I might struggle with class size. Um, and I also might struggle with grade level because my licensure is K through 5, and this, although they did include fourth graders as the people giving feedback, the actual people completing this project-based learning task were ninth graders. So I might have a struggle with that. What is some of the benefits to the students? Well, students get a chance, like I said, to experience peer review for the first, I don't know if it's the first time, but they got a chance to experience peer review in a mathematics setting. And they also got a chance to engage in academic language and dialogue. What are some benefits to the teacher? The teacher can go around collecting diagnostics while students are being social and engaging in the academic activity together. The teacher has the time to walk around and benchmark and ask questions and offer feedback and gain a better gauge where students are on certain concepts. And that's the end of my presentation.